So Joel and Ethan Coens have made some amazing movies together, Raising Arizona to Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, The Big Lebowski, Fargo, of course. I mean, some really good movies. But since the filmmaking brothers split apart, they have made decidedly lesser films. Still, hope springs eternal. And so when Ethan Coen has a new movie out this week, I, for one, am excited. Hey everybody, I'm Sean McBride, the movie guy, and today let's talk about Honey Don't.
Honey O'Donoghue, to what do we owe the honor?
Can you tell me about this woman, Mia Novotny?
She got stabbed and stuffed in the car, I guess.
In the cool of the evening when everything is getting kind of cool.
Only when we submit to the will of God do we serve him. Hector, not in the sacristy.
In Honey Don't, Margaret Qualley plays Honey O'Donoghue. She's a small-town private detective. Her vibe seems to be stuck in an old-timey days. I mean, is it 50s? She drives a car from the 70s. I mean, it's not a period piece, but it sure seems like her character comes out of an earlier time. And she's looking into a murder of a woman. Well, she's looking into the death of a woman, but is it a murder? Because this woman had said she wanted to meet with her, and then suddenly she's dead. Anyway, this murder kind of leads her to something called the Four-Way Temple. That is a church with a reverend played by Chris Evans, who certainly seems like he's a little bit shady. The story is kind of weird and all over the place, but I will tell you this, it kind of reminds me of Chinatown at times, which is a great thing. I love Chinatown. And it's kind of got a Raising Arizona vibe to it. I love both those movies, so that's a good sign. Now, ultimately, this becomes a very violent detective film with some moments of dark humor, lots of death and bloodshed, some quirky vibes, and a lot of supporting characters, including everyone from Charlie Day to Billy Eichner, and especially Aubrey Plaza. Look, it's got a big, juicy murder mystery that uncovers drug running and a sex cult and, of course, the murder of that original woman. But does it all fit together? And I kind of think that's the problem with this movie. I don't think it matters that much. A lot of times you have a movie where the main plot is not the point of this movie, and I think that happens here. The story, okay, yeah, it's all over the place and all sorts of juicy revelations, but I didn't really care about that much. This is Ethan Coen's directing it, but he co-wrote it with his wife, who is Trisha Cook, and together they wrote Drive-Away Dolls earlier, a film that I liked much better. This one seems very unfocused and scattered. Like I say, lots of violence, some very bloody moments here. Lots of people will get killed. It's kind of interesting that a lot of times people are killed using kitchen implements, unusual weapons, because Honey doesn't particularly like to use her gun. And so instead we got to kill you with other things. But look, I got to say also, lots of sex in this movie. And sometimes this is a movie that definitely has lots of queer vibes to it. Ethan Coen has said he wants to make a lesbian B-movie trilogy, so this will be movie number 2. And okay, that's fine here, but sometimes I think he's putting in queer stuff just to say he's doing it. I'm not sure I really believed it here. I mean, look, we have gay sex, we have public sex, we have group sex. We have several lesbian sex scenes, and I will tell you this, I think Aubrey Plaza and Margaret Qualley have some very good chemistry together, and so those sex scenes are quite erotic. But yeah, just be aware it's what it is you're getting into. Obviously, it's very rated R, and I'm not sure that it all adds up to anything super impressive here. I did like the look of this movie. You get this oversaturated look that it's set in Bakersfield, and that's kind of a desolate landscape there. And so a lot of that stuff is, I think it looked quite intriguing, and a lot of it seemed exposed and deserty. And so I like what they're doing with the production values here. I did also like the sound of this, the music soundtrack by Carter Burwell, who is, I think, a very good composer. It kind of feels like it's half Western, but kind of modern tinged. Kind of interesting stuff. There's some moments there that I thought was very good. And look, it's short. And so that's a good thing, I guess. It's only an hour and a half. I kind of wish it was a little longer because I think this story, like I say, the biggest problem I have with Honey Don't is the story. It's all over the place. It's not focused. It's not quite sure what it wants to do. It's definitely trying to be a B movie, but sometimes I would like a little more than just a schlocky, sex and violence thriller here. But I do agree, there's place for B movies in this world, and if that's what you want to see, I think you'll enjoy it. I just didn't think it was as good as I'd hoped for. Certainly not on the level of those Coen brother movies from old days. So I'm going to give Honey Don't 2 stars out of 4. Good heavens, am I turning into a prude here? You know, it's like lots of sex stuff in this movie, and I'm thinking, you know, it's like oral sex in a parking lot. It's like, go inside, get a room. You know, but maybe I'm getting old here. So what do you think? Was the sex gratuitous for you as well? Certainly it was erotic, and I guess you're making an erotic lesbian thriller here, so I guess there's a point to that, but I don't know. It was just a little much for me. And like I said, my biggest problem with the story, I just wish they'd figured out the story and done something a little more special here. So, but hey, that's me. What do you think? Please feel free to comment below. And of course, subscribe to these Movie Guy Quick Takes so you get my thoughts on all of the week's big new movies. I am trying to hit every single movie when it comes out in mainstream theaters. And of course, subscribe to the podcast, Two Movie Guys. My friend Joe Fred and I go into greater detail on all these movies. And so 2 Movie Guys, the number 2 Movie Guys, wherever you get your podcasts. One more mainstream film out in theaters this week, and actually a couple on home streaming as well. We'll get to some of those next, but the big one is this kind of interesting. This is the latest film from Ron Howard, a filmmaker that I think is very good. But this is not a typical Ron Howard movie. We'll talk about Eden coming up next. We'll see you then. Bye.